queued up where the lobby's open, the mics are hot, and nobody is dodging. With us today, Michael Tumbleweed Kepley. Davis Tadlock.
Fire in the hole.
Nick ThugNasty Lavid.
That's Patrick's intro.
And I'm your host, CJ Pathfinder Collins. It's great to see you today. Welcome to Queued Up. Some exciting segments, as always, on our Thursday show. We do some clutch or kick, and then we're going to do some pick'ems, so you get some matches from us for the weekend and see what we think about some of those matches coming up. And then around the league, we're going to look at some things like Optic drop Skyz and pick up Hercules. Is this a good thing? I don't know. The LEC is losing a little bit of money. That's not good for Riot, but they make a bunch of skins anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then last, but certainly not least, we're going to look at the Annihilator Cup and see how those guys are doing. Some awesome pro matches. We've seen some CSGO last week. We'll see League of Legends this week. And we'll see what those standings look like. But first, let's jump right into Clutch or Kick. We're going to go right to Mr. ThugNasty himself.
Awesome.
You can introduce your Clutch or Kick.
I appreciate it. Gears of War Reloaded is back. It returns to the Xbox Series X and S, Windows PC, PlayStation 5, and Steam on August 26th. And hey, gentlemen, 4K, 120 FPS, 0 loading screens, which is a mind-blowing stat to me. Did any of you buy Gears of War, the Deluxe Edition? No?
I don't think
well, it's free if you did, but do you have Game Pass? Also free if you have Game Pass, Day 1 Launch Edition. Clutch.
There you go. Davis, you first.
I'm sold. I think that explanation from Nick, I'm clutching as well. Being on the Game Pass, being free if you have the Deluxe Edition, that's pretty cool. Also, the 4K, 120 FPS should be a great game.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's Gears of War, it's an auto clutch for me. I don't really care what it is. I'm a big Gears of War fan, played it a lot back in the day, and I'm going to run it down with Skill Diff host Akibab Patrick. We're going to 1v1, baby. I'm taking him on.
There you go. All right. No. No. I'm tired of old games. I'm tired of reloaded crap. Make new games, okay? Not the same junk we've seen over and over and over again. We've got Gears of War 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have Reloaded. We're going back to the beginning.
Don't forget 5.
It's dead. The brand is dead. There's 5. See, exactly. The brand
Don't
is
forget
dead.
the mobile Funko Pop.
Nah, see, we're about to...
I don't like these Reloaded games.
That's
I'm not
fine.
a fan of them. I don't.
See, what you're missing, which I must not have sold you on, is they are just holding time for Gears of War 6 to come out, which should be releasing next year as well.
That's so great. Wow. Why didn't I think of that?
It just gets you right back into the game where you left off, so you're excited for the new release when it comes out.
No,
This show's off to a
This is a
terrible
money
start.
grab.
But it's free on 6 different
I
platforms.
understand, but it's still like you have to buy Game Pass, yes?
I currently own Game
I think
don't
the
like
best thing for this is that it opens up Gears of War to all the platforms now, right? And so it expands the player base, which is diminishing a little bit. So I think that's the big win here is you can have, I assume that there's going to be cross-platform compatibility. I don't know that. Yeah, so there is. So then PlayStation players, Xbox players, Steam players, it's going to be great. I'm a little worried about Steam hacks coming into the game, but that's a problem for a different
Is
day.
it mouse and keyboard as well?
It can be, yeah. Yeah, and
That'll be weird.
That will be weird.
That's the silver lining that I probably should have sold you on. Is a Microsoft originally owned IP is now expanding its horizons, which can also open the door for Halo in the near future as well.
I mean, this didn't really help the Call of Duty scene going to mouse and keyboard in a lot of ways, so I don't think it's going to help the Gears scene. So
Player population.
I hate it. I hate this.
Haters.
No, get it out.
Haters gonna hate.
We're going to the next thing, okay? Clutch or Kick, this is mine. We have Optic Gaming, and guess what? They suck, and they're going to continue to suck. But I think this is the right move to help them get to a spot. They have dropped Skyz. They picked up Hercules. This is more, I think they needed a change. It had to happen. So I like the idea that they changed. So they changed. They had to change something. If I'm honest, I don't love Hercules. But I am glad that they changed something because they were going on a downward trajectory. It wasn't going to get better. I don't know if Hercules is going to be the answer, though. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I'm going to clutch this as well. I think it is a little weird with how many roster moves Optic has made this year, and that initially I do not like. But I'm on the same page as you. I mean, I think I could clearly tell that this team wasn't really going far, and the steam that they had built once they formed this team is going back down. So it was time to make another move. So I can clutch that.
Cool. Cap.
I'm clutching it as well, mainly because the roster move is driven by Hex himself and not by the team. So Skyz had admitted that he didn't want to make a roster, or not Skyz, I'm sorry, Shotzi admitted that he didn't want to make a roster swap. He really enjoyed playing with Caesar Skyz. Hex stepped in and said, hey, man, like, let me help you out, right? Like, you're having all these problems. Let me get you out of your own way. Let's get you a faster AR, and hopefully Mercules is the start to a great thing.
Nick.
This isn't bitter from the last kick in any way, shape, or form.
With no
I planned
super
on
clutches.
kicking this from day one. However, it's unfortunately, it's too little too late for them. They're on that 8 seed. They might be on the outside looking in here shortly with Cloud9 and Rocker on their heels. But Merc is way better. There's no question about it. It's not the fact that I don't like Merc over Sky. It's just you're constantly changing. Optic has had so many roster changes this season. This isn't going to help them get over the hump. This isn't going to help them win Major 4 or champs. They're just going to stay as the 8 seed, plain and simple.
I think it secures them into champs. I think Mercules can be that difference maker over Skyz. And, you say Rocker's on their heels. Rocker's in front of them. But also everyone's forgetting about like the standout performance we just had against Surge, right? And so Optic completely dominated them, the number 2 team in the league. So it's not like these guys are like dead in the water, right? They went into the water, they beat Surge up, and then they came out victorious. So I think this team can take on anyone.
Mercules is not that good.
But it's a new team, right?
I think Mercules is good, man.
He played bad teams in the major. And the person who suffered from it was Insight. Insight played like crap because of it. So Mercules is not an upgrade in my opinion.
I guess we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see. We're going to find out this weekend.
But I don't think we're going to see because I think it's still they're just going to be
That's what I think too. I don't think he really brings a whole lot more than what Skyz brought to the team. I think they're pretty similar.
And they're going to redo the whole roster in the offseason anyway. It's like this change is just pointless to me.
Are we forgetting what Mercules literally just did on Toronto Ultra, completely blind against all the top teams in the league? I mean, like, this kid looks good, right? He's young. He's someone that Dashy and Shotzi can take under their wing and mold into a champion player because that's what Shotzi and Dashy are at the end of the day. Like, yeah, you can have your criticism of how they've been playing historically, but these are all great players in the league. And Caesar Skyz, like, well, what is he? The whole time we've been on the show, you guys have criticized him that he's not an upgrade, he's not good enough. It seems like this is the typical green wall hatred that we typically see happening, and there's not a whole lot of facts to back this basis as to why Mercules can't be considered an upgrade in the long run.
Is that why you're wearing green today? Is that what
I
almost wore my Optic shirt.
That's why I think he is an upgrade. I just don't like them changing rosters like they change their underwear. They're changing their roster every 5 seconds. I think the move itself is an upgrade. Don't get me wrong there. Merc was the 8th best player at the Ultra and Skyz was the 30th. It's like it's an upgrade. There's no question about it. It's just them constantly making changes and they're not getting any better. Maybe you have to look in another direction.
And one more thing I want to say to bounce off that I think is weird about the thing is, like you just pointed out a little bit ago, they just beat Surge, and they did it in a pretty dominant fashion with this old roster. And so, I mean, to me, that shows that they can do it, and then you go straight away and drop one of the players and pick up another guy. So I just think, like you said, they're making so many moves, and right when they gain a little bit of momentum, they make a move, or they're losing momentum, they make a move. It doesn't work. I just think it's all over the place.
Davis just changed to kick, by the way. I heard it.
Yeah.
I clutched it, but
well, I think CJ actually touched on it a few weeks ago, and this is what Hex just talked about recently, is like, Dashy isn't a fan of Caesar Skyz, right? And so you've already had this inter-team turmoil with Shotzi and Pred, right, historically, and now you have Dashy versus Caesar Skyz. Get someone neutral in there, right? Upgrade the whole roster, the mentality, the mindset, and you can go to great things.
And I think we'll touch about this on Pick'ems, too.
Bruce is the problem. He's not a leader.
So then why did you clutch it? See,
Shotzi's the leader.
I clutched the fact that they dropped him because they needed to drop Skyz. Okay. But, like, ultimately, I do think Bruce is the problem where it's like, Bruce needed to get over himself and, like, help Skyz become the best Skyz he can be. But that's not what he did. He criticized them. He said, I'm not touching your belly. Didn't lean into any of the social media stuff. Yeah. Clearly does not like him as a person. So it's like, is that somebody I want on my team leading the Optic in the future, right? Like, no. Like, I only think that Shotzi is the core over there. And it's like, I will build a team around Shotzi. But in some ways, Bruce has not performed in a great way. He has a 1.1 KD overall right now. So he's fine, right? But he's not amazing. He's not the Bruce we saw with Formal or Scump or anything like that. So, excuse me. But I'm just not a believer in anything they're doing right now, but I don't think Skyz helps it. So that's why
I'll be curious where you lie when we get to Pick'ems then.
We'll see. We will absolutely see. I mean, it's definitely not on the side of Optic. Okay, on to the next. Kep.
Oh,
Give it to us.
We're still in clutch or kick.
Yeah, we're going clutch or kick. Yeah, we're clutch or kick.
Well, man, that was
Became
heated.
the Optic hate train.
Exactly. Clutch or kick. So mine, guys, this is, really easy. GTA 6, we finally get the second trailer right after the back end of saying it got delayed until the next year. We've been here before, Red Dead Redemption. The trailer's there. We can't show it on the show, copyright stuff and all that. But at the end of the day, we got to meet the characters finally, Jason Duval and Lucia Caminos, if I'm saying that properly.
Oh, sorry.
What a beautiful trailer. What a beautiful in-game woman in Lucia. And I just think overall, this is a huge clutch for me. GTA 6 looks like it's living up to the hype with the trailer. And like it almost feels too good to be true. And typically that means that it's not. But I believe in Rockstar. Hey, who wants to go next? Who wants to...
Let him go.
I'm gonna kick this.
This was planned.
Don't get me wrong. GTA 6 looks great. The trailer looked amazing to me. I think it looks dope. How long have we waited already for GTA 6, and now we're getting delayed another year?
No, I gotcha.
That's why I'm kicking. I think it looks cool.
Nick.
It is May 8th. This game is not scheduled for release until May 26th. What are we doing here? This game started development in 2014, shortly after GTA 5 was released. They didn't actually start working on it until 2018 to start doing some actual development to it. Technology has changed boatloads over that time, so let's look at some games that have kind of been in development forever. Diablo 3, 10 years. Final Fantasy 15, 10 years. Kick this. Why is it taking so long to develop this game? Come out already. It's going to be amazing no matter what, but the trailer meant nothing to me.
Dumb game.
Dumb game.
I don't like it. It's like it falls in the same bucket as Gears for me. It's just like it's Grand Theft Auto 6, like new games. Like this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that it's gotten delayed a year. It's ridiculous that all these things are happening about it. And guess what? We don't even really know that much about the game at this point, right? They're just saying it's amazing. It's the greatest thing ever. Show me why it's the greatest thing ever. This trailer did not do that for me. Go ahead. I'll let you have the last
back
rub
to
cast.
Cumberland.
Rub bottle.
This was planned. This was a coordinated attack by these hosts.
This
And
was our meeting yesterday
yeah,
at 2 o'clock.
so clearly the meeting that I missed yesterday, guys, I'm really sorry for it, but I don't deserve this. Okay. GTA 6, it's gonna be amazing. Okay. I'm gonna clutch it for you guys. Okay. So
Okay.
we're sorry,
Appreciate
Rockstar. Don't trust my host for anything, and hook me up with a free copy and none of these guys. Okay.
Let
Get
us
him
know in the
early access.
comments. Are you on Kepley's side? You clutch this? This is kick. Put kick in the comments. Put it down there. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, Kep.
I don't know what it is, but I kick the next one.
Auto hate.
All right, Davis, go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, I have Coinbase. Coinbase is going to become the new exclusive sponsor for all Riot Games global events. Should bring in a lot of money. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clutch this. I think it's really cool to see companies like this coming into esports, with a lot of recognition from people that maybe aren't in esports. I think it brings a lot of eyes to it and makes a legitimate view. So clutch for me.
I think it's going to be a clutch for me as well. We don't necessarily know what it means, but I think this is great for crypto in the economy as a whole. I'm just curious what it means by it's going to elevate the fan experience, what you're actually going to see, how it's going to be involved, or is this just a paid sponsorship where they're going to slap Coinbase on all their jerseys? Who knows? To be determined.
Who you want?
You can go next. I already know you're going to clutch it because it's money.
Money.
Money is good. We like money. I think the voices out there, I'm talking to you, voice. The haters on gambling or crypto shouldn't get involved, shouldn't take their money, blah, 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 blah. This is esports. Take the money. It's a great thing, as long as it helps their bottom line. And then they do great things with that bottom line, like make new games that are great, or help the community, or help any of the other stuff they're doing on the esports side. I think that's wonderful. Go ahead, Kep.
Is he going to hate kick it? Or no?
I just kicks it because
That's
he's
the
mad
question.
about the last
That's
one.
the question.
I think I'm torn on it. I could honestly go either way. I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna kick it not out of hater spite. I think that Riot's spoken a lot about historically how they've lost money and they've had to lay off their people back in 2024. So like from an influx of cash perspective, I think it's good. But what I'm worried about is that how it enhances the experience thing. And I'm worried that we'll see a lot of scams pop up and it'll start to hurt a lot of people. Historically, crypto scams have been a major thing. You look at, the zoo stuff with like Logan Paul and all the news around that. You look into coming to this league place, it's going to be like, oh, if I go and invest in this Coinbase currency. Now I get some exclusive skin, and we're going to now paywall stuff behind this crypto thing. I don't think that's the direction that I want to go in gaming here. So like if I put these together, that's why I have to kick it. But in isolation, I think that Riot getting more money and enhancing the esport, I'm with you. I think that they need that, and that can only enhance that experience. I'm just worried about the overall player experience, which is a substantially more population than the pro scene.
I respect that kick.
I do too.
Cool. All right, let's go to the next thing. We're going to look at the pick'ems. We got some pick'ems. We got some matches going on this week. We're going to start with Counter-Strike at the top of our list. We have PGL Astana. Ooh, very cool. Very fun. This is an event, when we looked at it, where there's not a lot of top teams are here. So this is a little bit of an off pick for us. The Blast Major's coming up. Not the Blast Major. Is it Blast?
IEM Dallas into the Blast Austin.
Yeah,
region.
exactly. So those are the two big events coming up. I think a lot of the top teams are taking rest. But right now we're looking at this. We're going to do some predictions on here. Interesting. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Tap's going first. Pick. Who are you picking, Cap?
So I was surprised with the way we were picking because we have 2 weeks of action. But the winner of the event, I think Spirit, like, this is an event that you have to win here, right? Because you are the most dominant team on the board, and if you don't win this, then it doesn't look good for you at all coming to the major. And then my runner-up, I put Aurora because there's a lot of good rosters here. Aurora's been on a rest. We haven't seen them since PGL Bucharest back in April, and so they got to be well rested. And I think they're going to put on a great show.
Davis.
Yeah. So for me, I'm leaning with you, Spirit, on the top as well. I think this is their event. Like you said, I kind of see Counter-Strike right now in the pro scene as levels. I see that there's a top level really with Vitality. I put Falcons in there now. I put Mouse in there now. And I also would have put Spirit in there, but since they haven't played as many games over the last little bit, I take them out of there, and I think this is their chance to really solidify their name back in there. And for me, the runner-up, at first I went with Aurora as well, but I've actually changed my mind now. And I think G2's got a really good chance at this event. I think they still have their core four that they had with Monacy. They add in Hades, who's actually been on a really good run recently, and he's playing really well. So I think if he can gel really well together with this team, they have Snacks as a good IGL. Hopefully he can play well this weekend as well. I think they have a really good chance of coming out in second.
Nick.
I am going to copy-paste Kepley. Spirit is winning this event. They're a top 4 team. There's no question about it. In 2025, they have only taken 1 L to the entire field, and that was to Navi at IEM Katowice. 2-1, very close game. So the entire field, they've only lost 1 series to this entire year. They're a top 4 team. They're going to take it hands down. But let's talk about, well, then why don't you have Navi being the runner-up? Only winning about 60% of their series. 11 series wins, 8 series losses, with losses to Liquid, Eternal Fire, Saw, Spirit, Falcons, Mouse. They're taking losses left and right. That's why I don't have Navi being number 2. Aurora only losing to VP and Navi at IEM Katowice. So I think they're going to be the number 2 team here, looking strong after taking an event off.
Thank you.
I'm with the majority here. Go ahead and throw it up.
Hey.
Everything they said. I was looking at this yesterday too with Davis, and I saw G2. I think if you asked us this question 3 weeks ago, I think we might have leaned a little bit Mongols, but
I wanted to put Mongols.
That's why I was gonna. That was gonna be my big question of why the Mongols #1 fanboy didn't pick Mongols.
I mean, you touched on them, Navi. I think Mongols and Navi are very even, and it's been like a slugfest back and forth. And I think Aurora, historically speaking, when we look back, previously Eternal Fire, right? Like that's a very top team, and I think that they're on average better than Navi or Mongols, right? But if Mongols come up and perform, like I'm gonna really hate if they get second place and I didn't pick them. but I have a lot of faith in Aurora here, so I tried to go more off stats than more off fandom here with Mongols.
Yeah, Navi are in that conversation too for me. Mongols, I'd love to see them be successful. And then actually, I was looking at the G2 roster. I like your pick on G2,
yeah,
Davis. I don't believe in them, but I think they are a little bit unknown, and that gives me a little bit of like that could be there. So I like that pick.
Yeah, they have the second closest match, or they have the closest match, I think, going into week 1 of the matches. And then I know we all just picked Spirit to win the thing, but I expect Gamer Legion to give them a close.
You
I know,
always say this.
I
hate this pick from
what?
you. Gamer Legion is not good. They're not gonna do
I don't
it.
think they're gonna win the match, but I think it's a scary match 1, especially after people are writing Spirit off over the past couple of weeks because they haven't been able to perform at other events, I think Gamer Legion could come out strong and hot.
Can somebody call a doctor for Nick? He's fallen and hit his head.
Well,
Gamer Legion.
I mean,
it's like a 20 ranked team. Like I would take any of the teams we just talked about over
9.
Gamer Legion.
and to Davis's point, like the reason that we harp so much on Spirit is because there's levels to this. And Spirit historically are like, hey, you're number 2, right? But Mouse beat them. They upset them. Falcons beat them. They upset them. They're falling down the hill, right? And so if Spirit do not just dominate this event, I think it shows there's chinks in the armor. You need to start looking at some roster changes because Donk clearly can't get it done on his own.
Yep, I agree.
Donk's the only safe person on that team.
Spirit's like 5 for me right now. Like they
What?
Chopper, Magic, not playing well, not doing well.
Well, yeah, they're ranked 4 in the Valve rankings, and then they're 2 in the HLTV. But yeah, they're tumbling. They're tumbling.
Give me your
down the
quick
hill.
5.
They're
then.
not gonna make. I mean, Mouse is definitely ahead of them.
Yep.
Obviously, Vitality's
Yep.
ahead of them, right? I put Falcons ahead of them.
Okay,
now,
and then
right?
who else? It's them. They're 4.
Yeah, what's the 4th
I
one?
said
That's
top
a
4.
That's a tough one.
They would be 4 for me, I think.
The only thing you could give it to is maybe Aurora.
I can't remember my exact number. I think that I have them at 5. Though.
When I was saying the levels, that's what I see. Those top 4, I think, is the 4.
Yeah.
And then I think Spirit could easily fall out, like you said, if they don't dominate this event. Because on paper, they really should come here and win this event, no problem.
Yeah, I think we all agree with that.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Going to Valorant next. Europe and America have finished. We've got our winners on those sides. So G2 is going to take it for America. And then, so we're going to look at the Pacific region for our matches because they are in the semifinals right now. We've got Gen G versus Rex Regum. Okay, cool.
Got him.
You crushed it.
I did crush that. And then DRX versus Paper Rex.
A lot of X's.
A lot of X's, a lot of Rexes.
Yeah.
X's.
I don't know. Let's see the screen. Who did I pick? I picked Gen G and DRX.
Okay.
Nick?
Gen G and Paper Rex. So we want to get into it now, or do we want to?
No, we can get into it. Why do you think?
Okay.
Give me your why the reigning second place folks are gonna not beat the Paper Rex nerds.
Gen G actually won a close 2-1 recently over Rex. But outside of that match in January of this year, Gen G has owned Rex like a big brother over the past couple of years. They've only lost 1 series to them, I believe, ever. They're going to big brother them one more time. And Paper Rex, yeah, DRX is coming off of a tough loss in upper bracket, so they're going to be a little upset in the losers bracket. But this is a jersey pick. I don't know if you've seen Paper Rex jerseys, but they are fire, if not the best in all of esports. But on some realistic notes, Jing, one of the best slayers in the entire tournament, mainly plays Raze, has a little Omen, has a little Phoenix in there, has been on this team since 2021. When did Valorant come out? Like 2020. This kid's been on Paper Rex the entire time, slaying out. I've got faith in them taking it over DRX.
Kep.
Well, my answer is a lot less exciting than his. But I did Gen G and Paper Rex, and the reason that I did this was Gen G because I looked at the history and they're 6-1, and Paper Rex because I like their jerseys.
Jersey cheese
that's
for the
all
win.
I got. Yeah, that's all I got.
Gosh. Okay, Davis, what are you doing?
I went Gen G and DRX. For me, I just see Gen G advancing. I think Rex Regum, or however you say it, I think they're a really good team this year, but I just think Gen G is too much for them. They're very experienced. They're always in this position, to be honest. They're very well-rounded. So I'm looking forward to seeing them move on. And I also think DRX will be winning. Same thing with them. I mean, they're a legend within Valorant, especially in the Korea scene.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be there. I just think they simply outclass PRX. I think PRX has had a good run, but I think it'll be coming to an end.
You know, historically, PRX does have the history in the winning matchup. They're 7-4 against DRX.
Yeah, I think that one is going to be really close, though. That one took me a little bit of time.
Yeah,
they have
the
their
fact that
matchup.
Paper Rex
DRX
was making the losers bracket run and has all the momentum right now was one of the reasons that I thought about them. But I think DRX looks better. So
It's going to be a great
DRX has
match.
better international stuff, though.
that's true. Okay, cool. Switching to the land of America and Call of Duty. Who would like to go first with their pick? Davis, I'm coming to you. Actually, I know where I'm going. What you want? What you got?
So for Call of Duty, I have Optic, Miami, and Ultra for our 3 games.
Sorry, let me introduce them. So Boston versus Optic, C9 versus Miami, and Ultra versus the Rocker.
Yep. So I got Optic, Miami, and Ultra.
Okay, Mike.
Who calls me Mike?
I don't
Optic,
know.
Optic Miami Ultra. They hid my pick just to show the next one. Optic Miami Ultra. This felt like easy
Twins.
picks for me. Yeah.
Twins. Nick.
Well, this is going to be a 3-for-3 copy paste on this.
Yeah.
Optic Miami
Yeah, I can't
Ultra
wait to see you talk me out
again.
of this one.
I was 3-0 last week on Call of Duty on my picks, just to be clear.
You
Yeah.
because you picked FaZe.
I did, and they won.
Oh, I thought Surge won. I'm thinking of a different week,
Throw
guys.
mine up
Different
there
week.
so I can argue with you folks. I mean, I guess not much of an argument here. Rocker need to beat Ultra this week. They're not going to.
No.
They're gonna get eliminated from champs after this match. They're already on the downward spiral, but they have to win. They're not going to.
Yeah.
Dude, why?
You have that much faith in
you want me
Cameo
to-
Awakening?
I do. I have lots. Rocker have not iced up in any capacity. Miami looks so much better than C9. C9's not going to make champs either, so that's like an easy one, I think. Let's talk about this Optic Boston matchup.
Okay.
So I'm guessing the side of the argument on this is Mercules is our savior and is going to beat up on the Breach.
Yeah, you said it best. It's like, or I think it was Kep actually said it best. It's like having all of the drama between Bruce and Skyz is out the window now. We're in prime honeymoon phase. Yes, I believe that Optic is still the better team, but honeymoon, teamwork, vibes, and communication wins this easy.
Yeah, and I just want to be very clear that in this office, I have been the only Boston Breach believer the whole season. Right? I'm the only one that's going to bat for these guys, and Optic, on paper, are just a better team than Boston Breach. And so if they play, especially with even a fraction of the skill that they played last week against Seattle, they're going to crush Boston. It's not even going to be close.
I'm going to say I made this pick before the Mercules move, and what you said is the whole reason that I made the pick, because they dominated Surge last week. I thought if they stick with this roster, they can really, obviously there was turmoil, but heck, they just beat one of the best teams in the game. They could do anything. So I made this pick expecting that to kind of happen. I think you bring Mercules into the situation, it becomes very shaky. I expect it to be really close, and I think Optic will win, but I could see it either way.
The Breach have been together the longest over any team. The
No
core
question
four
about it.
of that been together. They have actually played a lot better than they had through majors 1 through 3. Major 4, they're kind of doing well against other teams. I just think Optic, within the turmoil and all the stuff going on, Bruce is not going to show up. We haven't seen him show up. I don't think Mercules is going to do anything amazing. He's not going to play well in their system. He might play for kills and get a great KD at the end of it, but I don't think that's going to help them win. That's not what they need right now. So I'm not with you guys.
I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, Boston's stuck together for that 50% win rate throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
Upset crazy teams and then lose to the Vegas Falcons. Love to see it. Let's keep it up.
All right.
Oh, you want to talk about C9 in Miami? I got a few things.
Okay, go ahead.
I've got some.
Bro does his homework.
I mean, all of us think Miami are going to smoke C9.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about the crazy roster shakeups with C9, and that team is just far too new with the addition of Cap and Spart. Even though Sib, in my opinion, is one of the best players in the entire league, he just doesn't have the cast around him. I think that's why they made this wholesale move. Caught a bunch of us off guard, but Miami are just too hot right now.
Yeah.
Too hot.
I think the moves have been really good for C9 too. I think their team's in a better spot. Like you said, I just think Miami's too good, so they'll.
Too little, too late.
Yep.
Not going to matter.
Yeah.
Got to win out, and they're not going to win out. So,
And Ultra, we don't even talk about Beans, Aura. It's over.
yeah, agreed.
2-6 with Kenny. They've only won 2 series with Kenny. 1-4 in map 5.
No ice. It's
1-3
always
in map
it's always
11.
like a game 11 map
Yeah.
5 too.
Well, yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't win.
They're 1-4 in map 5.
I will say that Rocker, they are unfortunately falling to that game 11 curse, or the round 11 curse.
I said
round
it
11.
wrong first.
Yeah, round 11 curse in game 5. I mean, the team is 10% away from being able to take some of these matchup wins, but Toronto Ultra is just too solid.
Agreed. All right, going to League of Legends. Go ahead, Kepley. Give me your picks first so we can know who to pick.
I don't even remember the matchups. Just show them.
Oh, it is
Cloud9.
C9 versus Liquid and 100 Thieves versus Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, Cloud9 versus Liquid. Honestly, could be a close series, but Cloud9 is just too good of a team, and then 100 Thieves, that's just going to be a dominating game right there. So
Davis.
Same way. Cloud9, 100 Thieves. I think Liquid, that's the better matchup, C9 versus Liquid, but I think C9 is just too good, and they kind of outclass them in every lane still. So.
Yep. Same. Cloud9, 100T, I think. Best of 3, fearless draft. Cloud9's going to come out on top, no question about it, and 100T over Shopify, easy.
Go ahead, throw mine up there. C9 beat Team Liquid handsomely in the best of 1 that they played against each other. So I have Cloud9, and the 100 Thieves is just a way better team.
Yeah.
I don't even know the Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, just to satisfy the narrative, Impact sucks. Thanatos gonna destroy him. So
Chris,
yeah.
he didn't mean it.
I mean it. I'll debate with anyone. Impact's horrible. Move on. It's time. Put him as a coach. He'd be great there.
I will say one thing that was interesting to me as somebody that doesn't know like a ton about all the macro within League. I did see that Shopify was able to take a map off FlyQuest, so that did kind of make me think a little bit more going into that pick. But I think 100 Thieves should win.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Moving into just some notes around the league really quickly. I want to talk AT&T Annihilator Cup. Can you show us really quickly for the graphic of the current standings so we can look after CSGO, what's going on? We got some League of Legends this week, but Team Doublelift, which has Doublelift, Scump, Summit, and
Landmark, and Lovely Low.
That's a Lovely Low, probably carrying that team for sure. So I don't, it was interesting. There was a couple clips on this, but I love this format. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I think it's super cool to watch this kind of group of creators come together, draw some viewers, have some fun in games they don't normally play. Like I've never seen Scump play League of Legends, so it's kind of fun to watch that. So that's been my experience. But
yeah, I mean the Doublelift roster is absolutely stacked. How he got away with that is unreal because like
totally.
Scump is a god in Counter-Strike and Call of Duty. Doublelift is really good in fighting games and League of Legends. Landmark is a really good. He mainly plays Tarkov if you're not familiar with him, but he's that probably translates to other shooters, right?
Yep.
Summit, former Counter-Strike professional, right? Like, and Summit's just kind of like diverse in a lot of games.
Yeah, the guy that mollied himself is the best at Counter-Strike.
Out of this roster, he's up there. Now, we do have League of Legends coming up, and I know that a lot of people are like looking at Doublelift, and it's like, oh, well, this should be an easy win. But I actually think that this roster is one of the weakest in League because Ludwig and Tyler 1, I think, can carry that roster in League, and I think that that's going to be a big upset.
I agree. I think this team struggles in League, but depending on how many points they can secure, if they play well through League, they could really help themselves on stay in first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Team Ludwig obviously is the group that needs
1 point.
Oopsies. Go ahead.
I think the only event that Doublelift team isn't winning is Call of Duty, and it's going to be close against the Nate Shot team.
Yeah.
But as we just saw from the team leaderboard, I think Doublelift's going to run away with this whole thing, and Ludwig might have a shot this week in League of Legends. But other than that, to be honest, I'd love to see this draft again because these teams were not created equally in any way, shape, or form.
I think Scump could solo beat Nate Shot and Octane.
And
Lovely
Hutch.
Low's nasty too.
Octane's good, man, but Scump is Scump.
Lovely Low is nasty too. She plays Warzone. She's nasty.
What Call of Duty are they playing?
Black Ops 6.
Black Ops 6?
Yeah, same game. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They'll probably play CDL rules and everything, so it'll be weird.
And
that
then
would answer the question, but one thing I had was wondering if the keyboard and mouse people would be on controller or not.
No, I would imagine they'll let them play keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, and then yet again, the only person that's great at Street Fighter is Doublelift, so he's going to get his team that win easily.
Yeah, I mean, based off the Counter-Strike win, it's like a team that's not Scump needed to win the Counter-Strike game. Gotta have a shot here, but they're clearing away the best. But it's been really fun to watch.
Yeah,
what a
really
great
cool
tournament.
to see everybody come together.
Yeah, I like the format. I just think, and this has been going on for years, so it's very exciting.
I know what I'm doing Thursday at 7. I'm watching this League of Legends.
Heck yeah. Okay, in other news, let's talk some League of Legends. There's an article that was on Twitter, but essentially the LEC is running a $28.5 million deficit. I think in the grand scheme of things, this is an interesting one because it's clearly something they're willing to invest into based off of their esports presence. And Riot Games does make a bunch of money to be able to fund these things. But I wanted to hear what you guys thought about, this story, because it is, when things lose money, they're normally the first things cut from the executive side of things. But is this spend worth what they're getting from the LEC, or is it too high? And, what do we think about that in the overall ecosystem? Coming to you first, Kepley.
So there's a lot to unravel here. So Riot actually has not been making a lot of money on skins. They've talked about that very publicly, and so that's why there's a big scandal. I say scandal, like there's a big controversy of they took away Hextech chests, which is a way to get free skins in the game. They now brought them back after community outburst. But the big thing there is how much money they were losing as an organization. So Riot for a long time was seen as, hey, we're this cool place to work. Everyone's hiring there. And Mark Merrill, better known as Trindamere, he actually just recently did a whole press conference speech on this. The name of the event escapes me, but you can find it on YouTube because he hasn't talked there in years. But he talked about how Riot's this cool place to work, and they just started hiring everybody. They said, hey, we'll take you. Here's the value we bring you. And they stopped asking the question of what value do you bring us? And so they've overhired, and that led to their layoffs in 2024. And then internally, they're starting to get back to their roots where they're saying, hey, how do we make money from skins? Well, we need to make cool skins that people want to buy. And now we've transitioned to a battle pass model. And so I think that all these moves that they're making are going to start to turn around some of that revenue. But they've also said publicly for years now that we lose money on pro esports, right? And I think that that's common across all esports. They lose money, and something like Coinbase, even though I kicked it earlier, that's a clutch there because now you've opened up a big wallet that you can reach into to fund all this stuff. So I talked on a lot. Who wants to go next?
I can go next. I'm not going to talk as much as you because I don't really have much knowledge on the whole situation. But obviously, something that you don't want going on, and it's unfortunate. Like you said, hopefully the Coinbase edition can bring some money in that they can use to invest properly and hopefully grow this back.
Nick?
It's just it's clickbait. Unfortunately, I don't want to give everybody here a business lesson, but it really just is. Tencent, Riot Games, and then a bunch of other stuff underneath it, right? Well, hell, there's a lot of stuff underneath Tencent as well, but Riot Games is doing just fine. League of Legends is doing just fine. All LEC does for its individual financial statements is non-US revenue, R&D, which is the largest spend. All of Riot Games' R&D expense is sitting on LEC's financial statements. So that in turn is what is driving this loss. Riot's doing fine. This is from 2023. It just came out because their audited financial statements just came out. They're doing fine. Riot 2022 over 2023, improvement in revenue, decrease in expenses, so an increase in net overall from 2022. It's obviously 2025. It's old news. It's a fluff. It's clickbait. They're trying to just put bad news on something that's not doing so great. Riot's doing great as a company. It's just a business decision. However they have their orgs structured for whatever reasons, if that's tax or VAT is specific over there, to have a big loss on that entity alone to then take it up to the parent company. I know I'm getting a little financial into the weeds here, but it's not a story, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's interesting. Normally, a lot of these things are just write-offs so that you can get to the point where you're selling skins, selling battle passes, things like that. Obviously, League of Legends, from a viewership perspective, does really well. And so when you have something that does really well, it drives skin sales. It's something that you're willing to write off. You make the LEC its own little company, and it's basically a write-off for you to do the other stuff. So I think it's interesting that this article does get posted. And so when I see things like this, when I saw it on Twitter, I was like, this is an interesting topic because it doesn't seem like it tells the whole story of what their overall shape and picture is, what they're trying to do. So seems like a little quick.
Sorry, a little accounting finance background.
That's the finance guy. Yeah, I got you. Cool. Good thoughts there. Next, I just want to hit on this really quickly. Counter-Strike came out with a new season. We've got 6 new maps, all kinds of stuff going on. But it's kind of scary right before the next event that's coming up. We have an issue with smokes that have been pretty crazy. So right now, if you throw a smoke down and there's a molly behind it, you can see the outline of the player. Kind of ruins the whole smoke experience. I know that one of the things that happened with Counter-Strike Global Offensive 2 originally was the fact that the new smokes were kind of not as cheesy as the old smokes. But I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Is it a game-breaking bug, or is it something just kind of small in the background, and does it need to be fixed immediately, or can we just kind of hang out with it? Nick, you go first.
I think it's got to be fixed immediately. We've already seen a lot of clips of people boost jumping outside of these new maps, yet they're not in the competitive rotation, so it really doesn't matter. But the other side of it, there's no good time to make these broad sweeping changes to this game. There isn't much off time in the competitive scene. They're going week in and week out with 3 different leagues. There's no real good time to run a big patch like this, and I think they found one window since the next event doesn't start until this Sunday, so they've got a few days. Hopefully they can figure it out.
Yep.
I'm just excited for new Counter-Strike maps.
Hey,
I mean, I feel like we've had the same maps for an eternity now. So it's Dust 2, it's been there for ages. I'm tired of seeing it. And as someone who's starting to get back into a little bit of Counter-Strike with the boys, start playing it, new maps are going to be good things. There's going to be hiccups, of course, right? But those aren't going to reach competitive anytime soon. So I'm not super worried about that.
Cool. Davis?
I think it has to be fixed immediately. If you're seeing people through smoke, that has to be fixed immediately. I also saw a clip to where you might not see the person, but if they're shooting their gun, like they can be really, really far behind the smoke. But if they shoot their gun, the muzzle flash comes through the smoke as well.
Oh, wow.
So got to be changed. Game breaking.
Yeah, they broke some stuff for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to be able to, like, for this upcoming tournament this weekend, if they could play on the old patch, or if they're force updated.
I would imagine that's an option they have. So
Yeah.
I worry about it
Got it
less
in their
for
back
the.
pocket.
I worry about it for our ranked games. Okay, when we're jumping into ranked games, we're in big trouble right now. We got to cheese some folks with the molly.
Well, you're going to have to keep sitting in queue until they fix it then.
Just me being in the ranked games is controversy enough. Okay, so we want to see through the smoke. So
while it's broken, let's abuse it.
Hurry, go now.
There you go. We've got the cheat code. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. What an exciting episode.
What a
Thanks
day.
for joining us for Queued Up. Hey, remember to like, comment, and subscribe below if you thought anything was interesting. What in the world?
fist bump, dude.
We're fisting.
Yeah, this is our competitive mode. Fist bump, fist bump.
Huge clutch. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Subscribe. Davis Needs Steak. Have a great day. See you later.